What if I told you that the change jingling in your kitchen drawer might be worth over $200,000? Yes, that ordinary-looking 2008 D. Jefferson Monticello nickel you almost handed to a vending machine could pay off your mortgage, erase debt, or even fund the dream retirement you thought was out of reach. Sounds crazy, right? A nickel worth $208,000. But here's the thing, it's real. It's happening. And someone out there already cashed in. The only question is, will you be the next? Wait, are you checking your couch cushions right now? If not, you should be. But not just yet. Stay with me, because I'm about to show you how a small, overlooked coin can hold life-changing value. This isn't just about money. It's about transformation. It's about spotting opportunity where others see pocket change. And it all starts with a nickel. Let's take a closer look at the 2008 D. Monticello Jefferson nickel. Minted in Denver, this coin features the face of Thomas Jefferson on the obverse and the iconic Monticello building on the reverse. It was supposed to be a simple return to tradition after the Westward Journey series. But hidden among the millions produced were a few extraordinary anomalies. A handful of these nickels left the mint with rare errors, off-center strikes, double dies, improperly aligned collars. But even more valuable are the high-grade coins struck in pristine condition. The ones untouched by circulation. The ones collectors are fighting for today. And one such coin recently sold for over $208,000 at auction. The kicker? It looked almost identical to every other nickel in your pocket. Now, before you raid your kid's piggy bank like a modern-day treasure hunter, let's talk why this coin is so valuable. Point 1. Condition: MS67 and above. Mint state coins with sharp details and no blemishes are incredibly rare. Point 2. Rarity, die variations and errors. A specific batch from the Denver Mint had minor flaws only expert eyes can catch. Point 3. Demand, collector obsession. In the world of coin collecting, Jefferson nickels hold deep historical significance. Combine that with scarcity, and boom, you've got the perfect storm. Imagine finding one today, verifying it, and holding a check for 6 figures in your hand. Think of the possibilities: pay off bills, invest, or finally book that European escape you've been putting off for decades. But here's where most people lose out. They don't know what to look for. They throw these coins in jars. They miss signs of treasure hiding in plain sight. Find any 2008 nickels with a D mint mark below Jefferson's portrait. If you've got one, examine it under a magnifying glass. Look for sharp details, uncirculated shine, and oddities in the design. Is the Monticello lettering blurry? Is the rim off-center? That's your first clue. Don't clean it. Seriously, don't. Collectors value originality. Cleaning a coin can cut its value in half. Get it graded. Send it to professional graders like PCGS or NGC. That's how the $208,000 coin got its certification. That step is what transformed it from loose change to wealth. And here's the shocking part. Experts believe there are still dozens, if not hundreds, of these nickels out there. Unfound. Unnoticed. Unbelievable. So, still thinking about giving your nickels to the drive-through cashier? Don't underestimate the smallest things in life, because sometimes what looks ordinary is actually the key to an extraordinary future. This isn't just about a coin. It's about awareness, opportunity, and claiming what could be rightfully yours. If you found value in this video, don't leave your future to chance. Hit that subscribe button for more insights on rare coins that could change your life. Share this video with someone you love, because their retirement could be one nickel away. And remember, we're not just collecting coins. We're collecting possibilities. Could your next coin be worth 6 figures? Don't guess, no. Subscribe now. Imagine this. You're digging through an old jar of change, dusty, forgotten, just looking for a quarter to pay the parking meter. You reach in, pull out a nickel, and almost toss it back. But hold on, you look again. It's a 2006 D. Jefferson nickel. Monticello glows faintly on the back, Jefferson's sharp profile on the front. Something about it feels different. Unbeknownst to you, that little coin could be worth over $206,000. Yes, you heard that right. One single 5-cent coin, minted in Denver in 2006, is quietly transforming everyday Americans into 6-figure success stories. So, do you know what's hiding in your pocket right now? Let's be honest. You were about to spend that nickel on stale vending machine peanuts, weren't you? But that pocket change could be your passport to wealth. Let's uncover the truth behind the 2006 D. Jefferson nickel and why it's setting auctions on fire. To understand the coin's true value, we must first understand its story. The 2006 D. Jefferson nickel was part of the Westward Journey nickel series, a tribute to the Louisiana Purchase, the Lewis and Clark expedition, and the vision of Thomas Jefferson. But here's the twist. While most 2006 nickels are common, a very specific batch struck at the Denver Mint has taken collectors by storm. Why? Because of errors, condition, and rarity. Let's break it down. 1. The errors. Some 2006 D nickels show striking anomalies. Double die obverse Monticello misalignments, missing edge details, off-center strikes. These errors transform a basic coin into a numismatic marvel. And there's one near-perfect specimen that sold for over $206,000 at auction. But I'll tell you why in just a moment. Point 2. The grade. Only a handful of 2006 D nickels have ever been graded MS-67 or higher by agencies like PCGS and NGC. Coins in this grade are essentially flawless, with luster, strike precision, and perfect surfaces. Collectors aren't just buying the coin, they're buying perfection, and perfection is priceless. Quick quiz. If you had a flawless nickel or a flawless Tinder date, which one would pay your mortgage? Exactly. Point 3. The demand. As the market floods with novice collectors and rising metal prices, demand is skyrocketing. 2006 D errors, in top condition, are increasingly rare and increasingly valuable. And right now, auction houses and private collectors are on the hunt. So what exactly made that $206,000 Jefferson nickel so unique? The 2006 D nickel that broke records was discovered in an uncirculated mint roll. It featured a strong double die reverse, was graded MS-67+, and had a rare full steps designation, a hallmark of Monticello's architecture, struck with absolute clarity. The result? A private collector paid $206,500 to add it to their elite collection. That coin started in someone's drawer. That coin could have easily been spent on gas, groceries, or tossed in a tip jar. Instead, it became a ticket to wealth. What if you have one? What if your forgotten change is your forgotten fortune? Now is the time to act. Go through your old rolls. Check the change in your car. Examine the nickels in your junk drawer. Look for the 2006 D mint mark. Examine Jefferson's profile, Monticello's steps, and search for errors. And most importantly, if you find anything unusual, do not sell to just anyone. Get it graded. Get it valued. Get it respected. You've worked hard all your life. Don't let a 5-cent coin worth 6 figures slip through your fingers. Your wealth might not be in stocks, property, or crypto. It might be in your pocket. And hey, if you do find that $206,000 nickel, maybe treat yourself to something better than vending machine peanuts this time. Subscribe now for more insights on coins that could change your life. Because fortune favors the informed, the curious, and the prepared. What if I told you the old nickel rattling around in your kitchen drawer could be worth over $200,000? And no, this isn't a joke, a gimmick, or a collector's fantasy. This is real money hiding in plain sight. Today, we're talking about the 2002 D. Jefferson Monticello nickel. A coin so deceptively ordinary millions overlook it, but the rare ones, they're making everyday Americans wealthy. Sounds crazy, right? But here's the thing. One of these recently sold for $202,000, and another is expected to break that very soon. You don't want to be the person who spends it on a cup of gas station coffee. Have you ever unknowingly given away a small fortune? Yeah. We're going to make sure that never happens again. Stick around because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for, how to check your own 2002 D nickel, and even where to sell it if you've got the golden one. Let's rewind the clock to 2002. America was in transition, but its coins, still carrying the history of a nation. The 2002 D. Jefferson nickel, minted in Denver, was produced by the millions, nothing flashy on the surface. But here's what most people miss. There are key minting errors, ultra-rare strike types, and extremely high-grade conditions of this coin, and that is where the money lies. It's like finding out your boring Uncle Bob secretly owns a yacht. Who knew? Now here's what makes a 2002 D nickel explode in value. 1. Full steps, FS. Designation zoom in under magnification. If you see 5 or 6 distinct steps at the base of Monticello with no wear, You may have what collectors call a full steps Jefferson.I in high-grade condition. This alone can push the value into thousands. But combine full steps with a perfect or near-perfect strike, and now you're in six-figure territory. Point 2. High-grade MS68 or above. Most nickels are banged up from circulation. But if yours looks like it just left the mint, it might qualify as mint state 68 or higher, a unicorn in the nickel world. Only a tiny handful exist at this quality from the 2002 Denver run. And one of them? It sold for over $202,000. And it wasn't even the best example. We'll get to that record-breaking coin in just a minute. But first, let's talk about the one thing that could make your 2002 nickel explode in value overnight. 3. Double die obverse or reverse rare error strikes like DDO, double die obverse, and DDR, double die reverse, have been reported, though sparsely. On this series, you'll see ghosted images, blurred lettering or doubled outlines, often around In God We Trust, Liberty, or the Monticello building. And here's the scary part. Most people don't even know how to spot them. They just toss the coin back in the change jar, never knowing they let go of $50,000. So, what do you do if you think you've got that coin? First, don't panic. And definitely don't clean it. Cleaning your coin is like wiping fingerprints off the Mona Lisa. It kills the value instantly. Here's your action plan. Handle carefully. Use cotton gloves or hold it by the edge. Oils from your skin can corrode the surface over time. Magnify it. Invest in a jeweler's loupe, at least 10x magnification. Check the steps on Monticello, scan for doubling, and inspect the edges. Get it graded. Send it to PCGS or NGC, the top 2 grading companies in the US. If they come back with a high mint state grade or confirm an error, the real game begins. Market at heritage auctions, great collections, or even contact a rare coin dealer for private offers. Because if you've got the right 2002 D. Jefferson nickel, you're not just holding 5 cents, you're holding a retirement plan, a college fund, maybe even a brand new life. And to think you were about to use it for a vending machine Snickers. This is your moment. You've been sitting on a treasure chest you didn't even know you had. But now you do know. So go check that change jar. Look through your drawers, your glove box, your sock stash. Your $202,000 nickel might be waiting patiently for you. And if you find it, come back here and let us know. Because stories like this, they're not just about coins, they're about second chances, surprise fortunes, and ordinary people discovering extraordinary wealth. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and tap that bell icon. We've got more coin secrets coming your way, and trust me, the next one could be worth even more. Because in your pocket, change, history, and wealth is hiding. Are you ready to find it? Have you ever held a coin that could change your life? A coin so ordinary, so overlooked, it might already be sitting in your pocket, or worse, lost in the bottom of a coffee can in your garage. Here's the truth. A 2000 Jefferson nickel, specifically with the P mint mark, has recently rocketed to a jaw-dropping market value of $200,000. Yes, a 5-cent coin, $200,000. And some experts believe certain variations could be worth even more. Wait, are you already checking under your couch cushions? Don't worry, we'll wait. Cue sound effect, Jeopardy music for 3 seconds, alright? Let's dive in. Let's rewind to the year 2000. Y2K was on everyone's mind. The world didn't end, but the US Mint did strike a series of nickels that would later spark controversy, curiosity, and eventually fortune. The 2000 Jefferson nickel, minted in Philadelphia and marked with a tiny P just beside Monticello, was never meant to be rare. And yet, something happened. Off-center strikes, double die obverse errors, uncirculated satin finishes, and a select few struck on improper metal planchets, making them incredibly valuable. Point 1 such coin, verified and graded by a top-tier agency, sold for $200,000 at a private auction. Just one nickel. Imagine walking into a gas station and accidentally handing over your early retirement. And here's where it gets wild. There are likely hundreds more still out there. Unfound, untouched, unrecognized. Maybe in your home. So, how do you know if your 2000 P. Jefferson nickel is one of the golden few? Sharp doubling in the word liberty, or In God We Trust, a misplaced mint mark. Too low or oddly slanted, a blinding mirror-like surface, indicating a proof-like strike, slight discoloration, or strange texture on Monticello. That might be an off-metal strike, but here's something most collectors completely miss. There's one ultra-rare version of this nickel that was never meant to exist. And when I tell you what it is, you'll want to check your collection immediately. We'll get to that in just a moment. The difference between a 5-cent coin and a $200,000 asset is awareness. This isn't just about finding coins. It's about unlocking forgotten value. It's about realizing that your spare change might fund your early retirement, pay off your mortgage, or even build a legacy for your family. And here's the real twist. Some of the most valuable 2000p nickels weren't discovered by dealers or historians. They were found by regular people. One woman in Ohio found hers while sorting laundry change. Another man in Florida? His sat in a cigar box for 13 years. What's hiding in your drawers? Your jars? Or your forgotten coin folders? You don't need a metal detector. You need a flashlight, a magnifying glass, and a quiet evening. If you're 30, 40, 60 years old, if you've ever saved a coin thinking it might be worth something, now is the time to check. And if you believe that wealth is hidden in plain sight, then subscribe, because every week we uncover the coins that others overlook. The ones that could make you a millionaire from something worth just 5 cents. What if I told you there's a 5-cent coin? That could be your one-way ticket to $1 million lifestyle. A simple, pocket-sized piece of metal from 1999, hiding in plain sight. You might have spent it on gas, or dropped it in a vending machine. But if you held on to it, if it's the right one, that nickel could now be worth $999,000. And here's the kicker. It's not gold, it's not silver, it's not ancient, it's the 1999 D Mint Mark Monticello Jefferson nickel. And today we're revealing exactly why this coin is turning ordinary people into 6- and even 7-figure success stories. Before you check your couch cushions, remember, we're not talking about just any 1999 nickel. Nope. Not the sticky one glued to a popsicle stick from 4th grade. We're talking about the ultra-rare, flaw-defying, value-multiplying superstar coin. But what makes it so special? Why this year? Why this mint mark? And more importantly, do you have one? Stay with me, because the story's just getting started. Let's take a journey back to 1999. The world was preparing for Y2K. Napster was shaking up the music scene, and the Denver Mint was quietly producing millions of Jefferson nickels. But among those millions, a few slipped through the cracks, with errors so rare, imperfections so precise, that collectors now call them the ghost coins of the Jefferson series. Enter the D Mint mark, stamped in Denver. This mark holds the secret to staggering value. Some 1999 D nickels display dramatic double-die errors, where Jefferson's profile appears to echo. Others have off-center strikes or full steps on the Monticello. That's the series of steps on the building's image, by the way, completely intact, clean, and untouched. And if you find one with all 3 features combined, you're not just holding a rare coin, you're holding a life-changing financial asset. Now, before you run to the garage yelling, "Honey, we're rich," wait, that there's more to this than just spotting a shiny nickel. Condition matters. So does provenance. And yes, the grading process can make or break the value. But here's where it gets real. Imagine finding a coin like this and not knowing its worth, spending it on a cup of coffee, losing it to time. Thousands have done exactly that. That's fear. And it's very real. Some collectors have discovered their 1999 D nickels were worth tens of thousands, and one coin? It shattered expectations with a market value of $999,000 at auction. Not theoretical. Not a rumor. A real sale. A 5-cent piece that rewrote someone's financial future. Let me ask you, what would you do with nearly $1 million from a coin? Pay off your mortgage? Retire early? Start that dream business you've shelved for years? This isn't just about coins. It's about awareness, opportunity, and recognizing value where others don't. And you don't need to be a lifelong collector. You just need to know what to look for and have the courage to look. Check your old coin jars, drawers, inherited coin rolls. Look closely at your 1999 Jefferson nickels, especially those with a D Mint mark. Check for these features. Clear double die in the lettering or profile crisp, complete full steps on the Monticello off-center strikes, or bold rim anomalies. Get it graded. Professional authentication turns your suspicion into cold, hard cash. And here's the kicker. There's another coin from the same era that's even more elusive and could be hiding in your pocket change right now. We'll reveal that one in our next video. Trust me, You won't want to miss it. If you're ready to turn forgotten nickels into generational wealth, hit that subscribe button. Join a growing community of coin hunters, treasure keepers, and everyday Americans reclaiming their fortune, one rare coin at a time. Because wealth isn't always minted in gold. Sometimes, it's hiding in 5 cents. Imagine this. You're cleaning out an old drawer, and you come across a handful of forgotten nickels. Ordinary? Maybe. But what if one of those coins, yes, that dull 5-cent piece, was worth more than your car, more than your house? Almost $1 million. When was the last time you looked at your pocket change and considered it a ticket to financial freedom? Because today, we're diving deep into one of the most overlooked treasures hiding in plain sight, the 1996 Mint Mark Monticello Thomas Jefferson nickel. It's a coin many Americans dismiss as ordinary, but a few rare specimens are changing lives, fetching upwards of $996,000 in the collector's market. Sound unbelievable? Good. Because you're about to discover the truth they don't want casual collectors to know. Let's rewind the clock to 1996. Bill Clinton was president. Gas cost $1.23 a gallon. And in Philadelphia, the U.S. Mint was quietly producing what would become one of the most extraordinary modern nickels in history. The 1996 Jefferson nickel, bearing the iconic Monticello design, looks common to the untrained eye. But under magnification and in rare conditions, something changes. It becomes a numismatic marvel. Coins graded MS68 or higher, that's mint state, are where the real money is. In 2024, one such pristine 1996 Jefferson nickel shocked the coin world, selling for an astonishing $996,000 at private auction. Yes, that's almost $1 million for a coin you might have sitting in a forgotten jar right now. What makes this nickel so valuable? It isn't just condition. It's a series of rare traits few even know exist. Have you ever stared at a nickel so long that Thomas Jefferson started looking worried about your mortgage? Because you might want to now point 3 specific markers make certain 1996 nickels explode in value. Full steps detail, look closely at Monticello steps. If all 5 or 6 steps are sharply struck with no wear. Jackpot. Double die reverse, on extremely rare versions. Letters on the back appear doubled under magnification. This error is pure gold. Lustrous finish and no contact marks. This comes from being struck with new dies and surviving with near-perfect preservation. Together, these features turn a nickel into a treasure. Now here's the scary part. Most people spend these nickels without ever knowing. Imagine handing $1 million coin to a vending machine. Painful, right? That's why every single coin you touch deserves inspection. Here's what this really means. If you're over 30 and living in the US, chances are you've seen this coin before. Heck, you might still have it tucked in a shoebox or coffee can. But the wealthy, they think differently. They see value others overlook. They search, they research, and they cash in. Will you be the person who shrugs this off as another coin story? Or will you be the one who turns 5 cents into financial freedom? Grab a magnifying glass. Look for the Mint mark under "In God We Trust" on the obverse. Examine Monticello's steps. Are they perfectly struck? Check for doubling on the letters. And most of all, check the condition. If your coin looks uncirculated, reach out to a reputable coin grading service. Could be the smartest move you ever make. Still not convinced? Ask yourself this. What's the worst that can happen, wasting 5 minutes on a nickel? Or missing out on nearly $1 million? This isn't just about coins, it's about mindset. About seeing opportunity where others see spare change. So go ahead. Look closer at the world around you. Because sometimes, the path to wealth begins with the quiet clink of a forgotten nickel. Subscribe for more powerful insights on rare coins that could transform your future. Don't leave your fortune buried in your coin jar. Dig it up. Let's uncover more secrets. Because one of these videos might just change your life. Imagine this. You're cleaning out an old drawer, sifting through keys, receipts, and a few dusty coins. One of them, just an ordinary-looking nickel, has Thomas Jefferson's familiar face staring back at you. You flip it. There's a tiny D beneath the Monticello building. You shrug, toss it aside. But what if I told you that single coin could be worth up to $992,000? Yes, almost $1 million from a nickel you almost forgot existed. This isn't a fantasy. This is the true story of the 1992 D Monticello Jefferson nickel, a sleeper coin hiding in plain sight. And today, we'll uncover why this unassuming piece of pocket change has collectors across the country scrambling, and why you might be sitting on a fortune without even knowing it. But before you go rushing to your coin jar, there are secrets, flaws, and details you must know. Because only a rare few nickels from 1992 have the traits that turn them from 5 cents into nearly $1 million masterpiece. Quick question. When was the last time a nickel did anything for you other than jam your washing machine? Stick with me, because this story might just change your life. Let's rewind to 1992 at the US Mint. As usual, produced millions of nickels that year, many of them from the Denver Mint, marked with that tiny D under Monticello. Nothing unusual on the surface. But buried among those millions were a few oddities. Nickels that somehow slipped past standard quality checks. Coins with striking errors, planchet anomalies, and misaligned dies. Some had weak strikes. Others were struck on the wrong metal altogether. And those nickels? They're the gold mines. Enter the Jefferson Nickel Elite. One of these elite coins. A pristine 1992 D Monticello nickel in nearly perfect condition, with full steps on Monticello and zero flaws. Recently sold for a staggering $992,000 at a private auction. Why? Because condition, rarity, and history collided in one spectacular moment. And collectors, especially the serious investors, are always hungry for such combinations. But here's the scary part. These coins look almost exactly like the common ones. If you're not paying attention, you might spend one at the gas station tomorrow. Now let's get into the DNA of this coin. What makes the 1992 D Jefferson nickel so incredibly valuable? Mint mark and location. That small D indicates the coin was minted in Denver, a detail often ignored. But in the coin world, Denver errors are gold. Why? The facility produced a lower number of premium strikes that year, increasing rarity. Condition. Full steps. Most 1992 D nickels have blurry or soft details at the base of Monticello. But collectors prize those with full steps, sharp, complete steps at the bottom of the monument. Think of it as the fine print in a contract. If it's crisp and clear, it's worth a fortune. Metal errors and planchet swaps. Some 1992 D nickels were accidentally struck on penny planchets or with off-metal errors. These rare flukes create sky-high demand, because they shouldn't exist. High-grade certification. The top-earning coin was graded MS 67 Plus by PCGS. In the grading world, that's the equivalent of an Oscar winner. Very few coins even survive that long, let alone in mint condition. By the way, if you're squinting at your coin right now under a kitchen light, welcome to the club. We've all turned into amateur detectives overnight. Just don't use a butter knife to clean it. You might scratch away $100,000 in value. Now let's talk about you and what this means for your financial future. You might already own this coin, and with the right steps, you can turn it from forgotten change into the start of a new chapter. Search with purpose. Start with your coin jars, junk drawers, and inherited collections. Focus on nickels from 1992 with a D mint mark. Look for full steps. Use a magnifier. Examine Monticello. Count at least 5 full, distinct steps. Not smudges. Don't clean it. Collectors want original, untouched coins. Cleaning can slash its value. Get it graded if you think it's rare. Submit it to PCGS or NGC for professional grading. A small fee can unlock a huge payday. Sell smart. Don't rush to eBay. Work with coin brokers, auction houses, or rare coin dealers who understand high-end buyers. Imagine this: you discover the right nickel, get it certified, and cash in. Suddenly, the vacation you've put off for years? Booked. That second home? A reality. Retirement? Not someday, today. And it all starts with a coin the size of your thumbnail. But here's the twist. There's another version of this coin, even rarer, with an error so dramatic it's barely believable. And it could be sitting in someone's sock drawer right now. We'll be covering that coin in our next video. So if you're serious about turning pocket change into wealth, you'll want to be there. If you found value in this video, tap the like button to help others discover this hidden gem. Subscribe now and join our growing community of everyday Americans turning coins into cash and building real wealth one rare find at a time. Wealth doesn't always come from hard work. Sometimes It's already sitting in your pocket. ChatGPT can make mistakes. Check imp. What if I told you a simple 5-cent coin, tossed aside in a drawer, hidden in your change jar, or sleeping in your childhood coin collection, could be worth nearly $1 million today? Yes, you heard that right. A 1989 P-Mint Jefferson nickel, featuring the iconic Monticello building and Thomas Jefferson's proud profile, has recently shaken the numismatic world with a market valuation soaring as high as $989,000. And here's the twist. This coin is hiding in plain sight. Most people don't even know they might have one. But before you rush to flip over every nickel in your kitchen drawer, let me ask you this: would you even recognize it if you had it? Stay with me, because in the next few minutes we're diving deep into this jaw-dropping coin story. You'll discover how to identify it, why it's so valuable, and most importantly, how to turn forgotten change into real-life fortune. And no, sadly, licking the coin won't tell you if it's rare. Trust me, someone's tried it. Let's rewind to 1989. A year when George H.W. Bush took office, when Batman dominated the box office, and when millions of Jefferson nickels were minted, most of them ordinary except a few. These special coins came from the Philadelphia Mint, hence the P mark, and due to extremely rare striking errors, unusual die polishing, and certain chemical compositions, a tiny batch of these nickels came out looking different. Some had incredibly sharp strikes, full steps on Monticello, or an unusual mirror-like surface, qualities that made collectors' hearts skip a beat. Others had off-center strikes, double dies, or even planchet errors, production flukes that made these coins not just rare, but extraordinary. One lucky owner discovered theirs in a dusty tin can from their grandfather's attic. It sold at auction for close to $1 million. And here's the part no one tells you. The secret that made this coin so valuable? It wasn't just the error. It was a perfect storm of rarity, condition, and timing. I'll reveal the exact traits that pushed this nickel's value to sky-high levels in just a moment. So, what makes your 1989 P nickel a potential life-changer? 1. Condition is king. Collectors crave uncirculated, mint state, and especially proof-like nickels. If your coin shows no wear, boasts full Monticello steps, and sharp Jefferson features, you're onto something rare. 2. Die variety and errors. Look closely, or get an expert to look. Some valuable 1989 P nickels show doubling on letters, misaligned dies, or even off-metal strikes. 3. Luster, color, and strike. A blazing, original luster, perfect strike, and no spotting. That's gold in the coin world. Combine that with a low population report and you've got a treasure. Think of it like Tinder for coins. It's all about flawless looks, rare traits, and being the only one like it. Swipe right on the right nickel and you're $989,000 richer. And here's the urgency. As more coins surface and get graded, their scarcity decreases, which could drop prices. The window to sell at peak value? It's narrowing. So how do you know for sure if your nickel qualifies? And where can you sell it without getting ripped off? Let's move into the real money part. If you have a 1989 P Jefferson nickel or any old coin, it's time to take action. Examine your coin. Look for that P mint mark under the year. Check for errors, full steps, and mint state condition. If needed, use a 10x magnifier. Your eyes aren't as young as they used to be. Get it professionally graded. Contact reputable grading services like PCGS or NGC. A certified coin with a high grade, especially MS67 or above, can skyrocket in value. Sell smart. Avoid pawn shops or online listings without protection. Use reputable auction houses, coin shows, or collector networks to ensure top dollar. This isn't just about nickels. It's about discovering wealth where you least expect it. About turning memories, moments, and modest collections into a financial breakthrough. Imagine this: one coin, one decision, one sale could change your retirement, pay off your mortgage, or even fund the dream lifestyle you've always wanted. And just so you know, the 1989 P Jefferson nickel isn't the only sleeper coin hiding in your collection. Want to know what other coins could be worth 6 or even 7 figures? Subscribe now, and I'll show you exactly which pennies, quarters, and nickels could make you the next millionaire from pocket change. Don't wait until these coins flood the market and values drop. The time to check your change and change your life is now. Like, share, subscribe. And remember, wealth often hides in the simplest places. ChatGPT can make mistakes. Check important in. Imagine holding a coin in your hand, A coin that once slipped through vending machines, sat in dusty drawers, or rolled under car seats. Now worth nearly $1 million. Yes, you heard that right. A simple 1987 D. Jefferson nickel, minted in Denver, now commands attention from elite collectors with a jaw-dropping value of up to $987,000. And here's the twist. Most Americans have tossed this coin into tip jars without a second thought. You might have one in your pocket, in an old box, even in your junk drawer. Still thinking about those 2 nickels you gave your kid for gum? You might have handed them a 6-figure fortune, and they spent it on bubble tape. In this video, we uncover why this particular nickel is rewriting the story of American coinage, and how you could be sitting on a fortune without even knowing it. But don't blink. Every second of this story might be the one that helps you retire early. Stick with me, because in just a moment, I'll reveal the tiny detail that separates a common coin from a millionaire's prize point. 1987. The year of VHS tapes, shoulder pads, and a quiet revolution at the Denver Mint. The U.S. Mint was churning out millions of nickels, each bearing the proud face of Thomas Jefferson and his iconic home, Monticello. But among those ordinary nickels, a handful emerged with extraordinary flaws. Some were struck off-center. Others had double die errors, rim cuts, or even planchet defects. And one particular batch featured an anomaly so rare, only a few are confirmed to exist today. These mistakes weren't obvious to the untrained eye, but to expert collectors, they were gold mines hiding in plain sight. So, how does a 5-cent coin climb to nearly $1 million in value? Let's break it down. Minting error rarity. Certain 1987 D nickels were mistruck with extreme die rotations and double profiles on Jefferson's portrait. Perfect condition matters. If your nickel is in MS67 or higher, you're looking at 6 figures minimum. Auction provenance. A recent specimen with full steps and a rare strike pattern was auctioned at $987,000. That's right. One man's pocket change became another's down payment on a beachfront condo. Life isn't fair, but it is profitable. This is where opportunity meets awareness. Because if you're not paying attention, you could miss your window. And once that rare nickel passes through your hands unnoticed, it's gone forever. These coins are disappearing into private collections, never to return to public hands again, which means your moment is now. Check the D mint mark. Look just to the right of Monticello on the reverse. If the D looks doubled or slightly rotated, you may have something. Inspect for full steps. Under Jefferson's home, are those stairs crisp and complete? Full steps nickels in perfect condition can multiply your coin's value by hundreds of thousands. Grading and appraisal. Don't clean it. Don't rub it. Just get it professionally graded. Coins graded by PCGS or NGC hold the most auction power. If you're about to shine it with toothpaste and a toothbrush, stop right there. That's not polishing, that's destroying a possible jackpot. Every coin tells a story, and sometimes that story can change yours. Imagine turning your childhood coin jar into an inheritance. Imagine selling 1 nickel and wiping out your mortgage. Imagine telling your family, "We're going to Hawaii, thanks to Thomas Jefferson." So what's in your drawers, your jars, your old coat pockets? Is it just clutter? Or a retirement plan waiting to be discovered? Because that 1987 D nickel, the one you almost gave to a cashier, might just be your $1 million moment. Subscribe for more powerful coin revelations. Drop a comment if you've ever found something valuable hiding in plain sight. And don't forget, check your nickels before someone else cashes in on your treasure. Your wealth could be hiding in your change. Rare coins, real stories, life-changing value. Subscribe now. Your fortune may be 1 coin away. What if I told you that one of the most ordinary coins in your pocket could be worth nearly $1 million? You heard that right. A humble 1981 Jefferson nickel, the kind you've probably seen hundreds of times, could be your ticket to a $981,000 payday. Now, I get it. It sounds too good to be true. But let me ask you something. When was the last time you checked the change sitting in your car's cup holder? Or that dusty jar in your closet? What you're about to discover isn't a fantasy. It's a financial wake-up call. And by the end of this video, you might just find yourself sprinting to check every single nickel you own. Because in the next 10 minutes, we're diving deep into the story, the secrets, and the staggering value behind the 1981 P. Monticello Jefferson nickel. And believe me, this coin doesn't just carry history. It carries a fortune. To understand why this coin is commanding up to $981,000 in today's market, we need to rewind the clock to 1981. America was in transition. Inflation was high, the economy was shifting, and the U.S. Mint, especially the Philadelphia branch, was churning out coins faster than ever. Among these was the 1981 P. Jefferson nickel, a coin that, on the surface, looked like any other. But hidden among the millions minted, a tiny batch of these nickels contained rare anomalies, and these errors? They're not just quirky mistakes. They're millionaire makers. But more on that in just a moment. The secret lies in three critical factors: strike errors, die varieties, and mint state preservation. Point 1. Particular 1981 P nickel, preserved in almost perfect condition with a full-step Monticello and an extremely rare die crack across Jefferson's portrait. Sold in a private collector's market $4,981,000. Imagine trying to use that at a vending machine. Sir, you just paid $980,999 too much for your Snickers. Now, let's break down what makes your nickel potentially valuable. Look at the steps on the building. If you can count all 5 or 6 clearly with no wear, you're holding a gem. Most nickels blur there. But sharp steps? Jackpot alert! Check the letters on Monticello, United States of America, and Jefferson's eye. If you see doubling, raised edges, or off-center printing, you've got a rare variety. This is where the big money comes in. A coin preserved in high condition without scratches or wear can leap from pocket change to high 6 figures. This isn't just about money. It's about legacy. Some people inherit fortunes. Others discover them in the most unexpected places, like a box of old coins passed down by a grandparent. So, what do you do if you find a 1981 P. Jefferson nickel that ticks all these boxes? First, don't clean it. Seriously, that's the fastest way to destroy its value. Next, get it authenticated and graded by a trusted third-party grader like PCGS or NGC. That one decision could turn your find into a 6 or even 7-figure payday. And if you're wondering how many of these nickels are still out there, that's the real mystery. Experts believe less than 30 high-grade examples exist in the wild. Which begs the question, could you be holding one of them right now? Look, this isn't just about coins. It's about paying attention to the hidden value in your life, in your home, in your history. Some people walk past opportunity every day, while others look closer and cash in big. You've just taken the first step. Don't wait until that jar of coins disappears in a garage sale or gets dumped in a Coinstar machine. Take 15 minutes tonight, grab a magnifier, and start looking, because someone out there will find that $1 million nickel. Why not you? If you found this video helpful, subscribe for more real-world coin insights that could change your financial future. And remember, wealth doesn't always come from Wall Street. Sometimes it comes from your wallet. Imagine reaching into an old jar of coins and pulling out nearly $1 million. Sounds ridiculous, right? But what if I told you that one 1978 D. Jefferson nickel, yes, that ordinary-looking coin featuring Thomas Jefferson and his Monticello home, was recently valued at $978,000? Now, before you roll your eyes and toss that coin back into the drawer, pause, because this video could change the way you look at your change. Forever. In the next 10 minutes, I'll walk you through how an unassuming 5-cent piece from 1978 became a collector's dream, and why you might already own one without even knowing it. When's the last time you checked the nickels in your wallet? No judgment. But if your answer is never, you're going to want to stick around for this. Background music softens, becoming more curious and mysterious. Let's start with what makes this nickel so special. The 1978 D. Jefferson nickel was struck at the Denver Mint, marked by the small d to the right of Monticello. Most were minted in the hundreds of millions. Ordinary, everyday coins used for coffee, gum, maybe a soda. But then, one error changed everything. Let's be honest, who thought a coin with Thomas Jefferson's stern face could cause this much excitement? It's like finding out your high school history teacher moonlighted as a rock star. The rarest examples of this coin aren't rare because of age, but because of a perfect storm of mistakes. Off-center strikes, double dies, full steps on Monticello. An elusive feature where every stare is clearly defined, and in some clad layering errors that give the nickel a two-tone shimmer. Coins with full steps alone can command tens of thousands. But combine that with a mint error in pristine uncirculated condition, now you're looking at a 6-figure treasure, and in one confirmed case, $978,000. But here's the twist. This $1 million coin didn't come from an auction house or a museum. It came from someone's dusty old coin jar.so. What should you be looking for? Keep watching. I'll break it down for you in just a second. Alright, grab a magnifier, flip on a desk lamp, and get ready to here's what to look for if you want to know whether your 1978 D nickel is worth serious money. Check the steps on Monticello. If you can see 5 or 6 clean, unbroken steps, you may have a full steps variety, your ticket to a high-value find. Look for doubling, especially on the words E pluribus unum, Monticello, and United States of America. A doubled die can increase your coin's value exponentially. Inspect the surface. Nickels that have no scratches, full luster, and are in MS-65 or higher condition attract serious bids from collectors. And finally, check for off-metal strikes. If your 1978 D nickel looks strange in color or weight, it could be a wrong planchet error, rare and valuable NO. Your coin doesn't have to glow in the dark or sing the national anthem. But if it looks weird, that might just be a good thing. Think about it. Point 1. Overlooked nickel. One quiet drawer. One moment of curiosity. That's all it takes. Collectors today are paying top dollar for coins that used to be pocket change. And with inflation rising, the interest in rare nickels is hotter than ever. So what should you do next? Go through your old jars, drawers, and coin collections. Look for 1978 nickels with a D mint mark. Use a magnifying glass and compare your coin to photos of full steps and double dies. If it looks promising, get it graded by a professional. NGC or PCGS are your go-to. Services. That coin sitting unnoticed in your house right now could be your ticket to financial freedom. Imagine selling one coin and paying off your mortgage. Or retiring early. Or starting the dream business you've always put on hold. It's possible that it's happening. And it could happen to you. What if the life you've always dreamed of was sitting in a forgotten shoebox? Don't wait. Check your nickels. Share this video. And if you found this helpful, subscribe for more deep dives into valuable coins that could make you millions. Turn your change into change. You just might be one coin away from a completely different life. What if I told you that buried in your change jar sits a single nickel that could be worth nearly $1 million? Not a gold coin. Not a rare silver dollar. Just a humble 1974 Thomas Jefferson nickel NO mint mark. No shine. Yet it holds the power to completely transform your financial future. Yes, you heard that right. A 5-cent coin, potentially valued today at $974,000. But here's the catch. Millions of people have tossed this coin away without knowing what they had. What if you're one of them? What if your path to wealth has been hiding in plain sight? Now, don't go flipping your couch cushions just yet. Stick around, because I'm about to show you exactly what makes this coin so rare, how you can identify if you have one, and what's driving collectors to pay life-changing amounts for it. Why the end of this video, you'll either be rushing to your coin stash or kicking yourself for spending it at a vending machine in 1996. Let's rewind the clock. The year is 1974. America is recovering from the aftermath of Vietnam, Watergate looms, and inflation is climbing. In the midst of this, millions of Jefferson nickels are minted. But something strange happens at the Philadelphia Mint. Some coins were struck without any mint mark at all. Now usually, Philadelphia coins don't carry a mint mark, but that's not the mystery here. The real story lies in die varieties, planchet errors, and strike anomalies that occurred in small quantities in the 1974 run. But there's one particular variation that collectors today are willing to pay 6 to 7 figures for. Why? Because it defies the expected characteristics of the average nickel. We're talking about misaligned dies, double strikes, and faint features around Monticello, even unique toning that developed due to unintentional storage conditions. Now let's break it down. Design and error features to watch for the obverse features Thomas Jefferson, but look closely. The high-value error nickels show slight doubling on the lettering, especially in God We Trust and Liberty. On the reverse, Monticello may appear slightly tilted or ghosted, a result of a die clash or misstrike. Also, some of these coins are missing design elements. Faint pillars, incomplete steps on Monticello, or blurry rims. Grading matters. A coin in circulation won't reach $1 million value, but those hidden away in near mint or uncirculated condition. That's the jackpot. Coins graded MS-67 or higher. especially those with full steps and pristine strike details, have fetched jaw-dropping figures at elite auctions. Imagine showing up at an auction with a nickel only to walk out needing a security escort and a tax attorney. Section 3. What drives the value? Rarity alone isn't enough. What drives these prices is demand. From elite collectors, nostalgia-driven investors, and historical error hunters. The fewer pristine error-free nickels from this year that exist, the higher the stakes get. So what does this mean for you? That dusty drawer, that old coin jar, that inherited collection you haven't touched in years, it might contain the very coin that could change your life. You're not just holding pocket change. You're holding a piece of forgotten American history, and possibly your future fortune. But time matters. Collectors are actively buying these coins now. Market momentum is rising, and every day, another rare Jefferson nickel disappears into a private collection, possibly forever. Still wondering if you have one? Up next, I'll reveal the exact checklist used by professional graders and collectors to verify if your 1974 no-mint mark nickel is the real deal. Dig through your coins. Inspect them under light. Use a 10x magnifier. And don't clean them. That could reduce the value by 90%. Most people live their entire lives never realizing the hidden value around them. You're not most people. You're here because you believe that abundance is possible, that your past choices, even in spare change, can lead to a better, wealthier future. So if you believe in second chances, if you're ready to turn coins into capital, subscribe, like this video, and check the next one where we dive into other Jefferson nickels worth thousands. Your next chapter may be one nickel away from a brand new life. What if I told you that a simple coin, often ignored and forgotten in your kitchen drawer, could be the ticket to a $964,000 windfall? Yes, one ordinary-looking nickel. From 1964, no mint mark. And right now, someone just like you may be holding it, completely unaware. This is not a myth. This is real. And today, we uncover how a Monticello Jefferson nickel, worth just 5 cents on paper, could secretly be worth nearly $1 million. Before you toss that change in a vending machine or let it vanish into your couch, you'll want to know exactly what makes this 1964 nickel so legendary. Because by the end of this video, you might never look at your spare change the same way again. And let's be honest, when's the last time a nickel made you smile that wasn't chocolate wrapped? The 1964 Jefferson nickel. It looks plain. A profile of Thomas Jefferson, the word liberty, and the year stamped below. No mint mark. Nothing flashy. But that's exactly the point. It's what you don't see that could make you rich. In 1964, the U.S. Mint produced over 1.7 billion nickels. That's billion with a B. But hidden among those masses are a few rare strikes, errors, variants, oddities. These rare coins were accidentally made with old, worn dies. The others were struck on silver planchets by mistake. And some, they feature ultra-sharp details, full steps at the base of Monticello, or signs of double die obverse. Traits that collectors would pay a small fortune to possess. One of these just sold for $964,000 at a private auction. Why? Because it was nearly flawless. Mint state condition, razor-sharp design, and one of the cleanest no-mint mark variants ever discovered. Here's what separates an everyday 1964 nickel from a 5-, 6-, or 7-figure coin. No mint mark. This was struck in Philadelphia, where mint marks weren't included at the time. But certain dies used were meant for different facilities. Full steps, flip the coin. Examine the Monticello building. Count the steps. If they're clean and unbroken, congratulations. That's rare. Die errors and double dies. Look closely at the "In God We Trust" or "Liberty." Are the letters doubled? That could mean thousands. Silver planchet errors. If your nickel has a slightly different tone or rings like silver when dropped, it could be struck on the wrong metal. Condition: the better the condition, the higher the value. Uncirculated nickels in MS66 plus grades can fetch staggering prices. Still thinking about cashing in that jar of change at your grocery store coin machine? Hold up. You could be throwing away a beach house, or even early retirement. One guy in Ohio thought his 1964 nickel was just another old coin. Turned out it was a rare full steps variety. He walked away $48,000 richer. Lesson: never underestimate your loose change. How to find, verify, and sell 7:30 to 10 o'clock. So what's your next move? Check your coins, dig through your drawers, jars, boxes. Set aside all 1964 nickels, especially ones with no mint mark. Use a magnifier or loop, examine the Monticello steps, look for clean lines, and check for doubled lettering. Weigh. A silver planchet weighs slightly less, so a digital scale might change your life. Grade it professionally. If you spot something promising, get it evaluated by PCGS or NGC. A verified high-grade coin can 10x your returns. Step 5. Sell at the right place. Avoid casual sales. Go to collectors, auctions, or specialized dealers. The right buyer makes all the difference. Do you already own one of the few nickels that could buy you a house, a new car, or an entirely new life? Maybe you've walked past it 1,000 times. Maybe it's sitting in a forgotten box, waiting to be found. Or maybe, just maybe, it's already in your pocket. You don't need to be a coin expert, you just need to be curious. Because opportunity doesn't always knock. Sometimes it jingles. Subscribe now for more coin secrets hiding in plain sight. Because next time, could be a dime worth $1.20 million. And until then, check your change. Your future might already be in your hands. Bell. Subscribe. Moneybag. Discover hidden coin wealth. Speech balloon. Comment if you found a 1964 nickel. Music fades into inspirational outro.